Yo abusia and then so ye da foforo na ye wo bibi foforo nso a ye be che. Said the last week no me ka kire wo say na video ni ye tintin dodo. Nti baby a ye duru no na se me de so ho. Na me pe enne so na me de to waso. Na me ka kire about the three-headed beast. Na me pese me de to waso na video no wa. Nti me say and then ye be discuss. So that's the topic we are actually going to discuss today. The three-headed beast. Na ye behwe two stages. Stage baako ye behwe Cerberus ni ye wi a ye ba behwe what about the gold. These two stages na many wo be fam ni aye the fast ni yakọ. Topic ni ye three-headed beast. Me pese obi a ete ase e wa hanom. Last week episode no e na ye to aso no. Ye hu ebi no mo gene code ni ade wo nso so gene code e ye den. Eno na ndem me pese ye hwe sa niam ni nyina mu. Last week on the show we talked about a lot that usually doesn't happen on the show because I know I am in Shadan yenka ho asem sa, but it was because I felt like I am saying be wa menka because me nya blogger na say bia ba na mafa na me can. No, I don't do that. I'm focused. But where there na se manka bi mpa na nka ne me say me ye goddess of akabula na ne kra ne say na say me can be. What else do we need to ascend? To ascend, because me catch your last week in this assembling in a course no. It's about a shift, and also say it's about consciousness and awakening. So last week in me catch you and nothing and necessary can be. There is a great shift ahead of us, and all we have to do is speak and support. So the last week me no chair and to I see the African leaders. African leaders, bishops, pastors, spiritual people, one, omu nyina omaye ko. Intina mintumi nti ase. They say ye kasa ni ye to be support. Say indeed, ye can awakening asem na Africa ye din ama ye be ku ye ho. Ni ye kwa abrochire dia. Na na mo we papa itu na say ye ka ho asem nti ni ye be ka bi. Someone told me that they liked my intervention because many people, even though they have read about how people like Gaddafi or Nkrumah were destroyed, still find it shocking that in the face of all the truth, there are still people openly trying to destroy Burkina Faso. Maybe no more friend text me. And I'm say, hey, in Timpani Forsha platform, they said it was in the news that a U.S. Army general said he was coming to attack Burkina Faso and he was using other African countries. The goons. We hate ourselves. That thing, I don't know what one can do to eliminate that thing. Yebe ko baby, any yenua mu sesi a yebe yenua na masesi a opa wo wa adwuma. Frobi na fa ne ko sesi a so no so be ye no nya bindu be hu ana wa ma ye yi wedi. That thing mean to me wo for obi wo boa no be hu odo wo be ba forma se wo poto so onimu that thing no me dwen ho me to me hu ne enti a ye behave sa enti na make sure last week said those Burkinabes, the goons there, those who are sleeping should be careful, because I remember one white man told me in Mexico that we won't do anything to you by your own people. He told me, I said, we've seen you, but we won't do anything to you. You are here, you are safe, but your own people will make it easy. As this man is trying to pursue this thing, it's not everybody that will be happy. The shallow-minded people will plot and they will take papers and betray their own blood. That is where we are. This is what these people were saying. So who use African country to get through to them? Well, like you know, I speak about the spiritual and unseen aspect of everything. So whatever they do, if it is here, I am not part. But when it goes beyond here and it gets to the unseen, that is where you will see me. So anytime you see me discussing anything here, don't think I'm coming to talk about car numbers and the things that are now maybe I'm coming to talk to you about the unseen, what is coming and what's about to come. No predictions also. Because that is what I represent. I'm a spiritual visionary. I represent the unseen. And that is why your ancestor can speak through me. So no matter how the issue is, I will always give you the spiritual perspective. That is the meaning of the title Three-Headed Beast, because I'm not going to talk about anybody. The three-headed beast is a mythical creature that stands at the gate of hell to guard so that the souls condemned will not escape. Omoka three-headed beast na yesi omo no mugina asama adopono ano omo bema okra yebu ni fo no ontumi nya ne ho ende ana ontumi nje ne ho ana ontumi ndwane fa ne saa. I will give you everything today. First, the story of events in Burkina Faso. A bit of history of how the Roman Empire got us here, and then I will explain the understanding of the three-headed beast. Conclusion to you. And that's exactly what we are going to do today. Na fe wahu niama ebinum aye yen ni dwuma ebinum de adi yen so that ye beje ye ho a ye betai ba pa ye chi a yatai na chi se ye fose ye beda nso a ne ya so ye nko aso na enya hwemu de mo man fa ne saa ne enya ne kakra ankra be ye dabi ebe ye se ye mfa ne saa na fe ya hwede ye beye me ma happy Sunday why mo akwaba e de back time to Maame Grace dwumadi kase ye yisu biom. I'm always the prettiest preacher. Last week de mani abre ma ye hye enne kora ma ye hye ba mapaja mimu abasoro kakra mo akwaba me na me apostle papa Maame Grace. Yo abusia nanso so yakwesi ada bio mankrankra bi achi mankrankra bi aha mankrankra bi ajo baby a wo bi ane mra abo wo bi e honom nchia ena mede mebo epinu megimi di se wo ho ye ntachremada wa bodwu na moja nsusu edi wo mu afru sane yeguso aye esua de hye se bibifo be di omho a enye ye nyina eye afi wo mbetumi nyane no ena omo beboa na yaje ye ho na wo koboa ma enye wadwen se wunua na wada no wo frɛ na ebeye easy enye easy but say yesi kwan so ne de kwa na yeko enti wo a wo pesa wo kasa no betumi akasa wo a pesa wo ye din ne nso so no de nyame de mi be sibia ma pene so omo so omo wo ho and ye discuss three-headed beast medikan ama wo run down no ba bia e be fa nyina ende. Before we bring the spiritual side of things, let's look at the various issues and what people said about the last episode. They said Burkina Faso has sacked all foreign gold mines and now they are developing their own gold mining and processing that will give the country some $6 billion every year. Omo ankasa je omo mines no no omo se omo ye. No omo ankasa ya asika omo benya no enu nie. Number 2 is that America has some armies in Africa. And these guys are saying that because Burkina Faso is sacking the foreign gold mines, they don't like it. Almost say first one here, a French president, no, no say, onim ni enti omo yi omo kasa na fi wo so omo beka omo de ye ungrateful, onye happy. See we num so say wasake nkrofo fi ono ani fie o. Intino, ono so say nani enji ompe. And this is what is creating a panic that the Americans will attack Burkina Faso. Omubeku Traore. Enu ne yes fear no. Adenti ne ni pesuru. Adenti no omube attack omo otini fie. Mu yese onso ompe. In fact, say ye kakura no de mo a anya ka na mo ne beka. Na watu amoka. Wei attack be ne wo wei mu. How do we calculate this? Anybody will see this as a clear case of the unusual master and servant game that has been happening every day in Africa. But I see beyond that. Because where the be so into obi crack and say, oh, this thing that is going on is one of these dirty old kind of game. Oh, really? That is how you see it. But how do I see it? Because I see beyond this. It is not just about politics. I have said this last week. I want you guys to go and watch 2 of my editorials. I saw this coming 2 years ago, and I started preparing us. Soul Invictus and Masters of the Universe. I did this last 2 years. It's still on the platform. You can go and watch this after the episode. Yehu we say banache. You started say ye kan ho asem. You started say ye kan ho asem. Na message ni me ya omu momu te ase. Eche meme nkrofo ni momu ameka akire omu. Today we rather hear you and start chatting you, asking questions with wrong numbers. So we find out to show the way our questions ni kono say we e nkrofo ni bia. Ayen nkrofo no enye hopo no mo hwe no mo akodwen no mpo. These 2 editorials are so important because they answer 2 important questions. Like, how come slavery and colonialism were so well executed, even though Africans look stronger if they were to fight in battles? How? Somebody was saying that, asking the question that, me see something broke our back. Before they came, we were on our knees and we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You explain. Go and watch these 2 episodes. You get full understanding of what I said. Like, how come Senkrofo we can? I mean, how? And then the second one is, how come still Africa is not free? It looks like whatever we do, they will try to stop us from being free. Day. Why? Watch Soul Invictus and the Masters of the Universe if you didn't, and so you will understand where I'm coming from. Why? And then again to me, why can't we be free? You say you're independent country, independence, is it true? To tell you why, I will have to narrate it in a story from the death of the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar. Say mekam what I say no aje maka adewe na fe what mase. Julius Caesar was assassinated in public by his people who stabbed him 23 times. This is something that is there. It's not me that is cooking it. Imagine a whole emperor being stabbed by a group of his people in his parliament 23 times. Normal stabbing. It means they were not afraid. They were not in a hurry to run away. No munsroche. Tiomu jina ho. Fane se nipe bi ananti free kroma kodru parliament. Now stab president. And to me, see, how would you pass through all the protocols? Inti so no one crofoni bi anan crofo na wo ho na bi. Inti so mu decide so mu be ya de omu wo hobi. Omu be hu se ye mo na mo ye na enso omu ye de a. Na omu ye determined so omu be ku papa no without fear and nothing. This sent great fear into the hearts of the royals of Rome. Because as ade we si pa de a, se wo na wo ye minister na wan kwa adwuma se da, wo na ye vice na wan kwa adwuma se da na. Ehu kese ene beto wo koma so ana beto wo kra so menuanom adenti ne yentumi nde ye ho eno ene nde ye hwe ne aka na what happened to our gold na 3-headed beast no, what are they representing? What do they stand for? Eno na me pesa me no ye che. Just imagine if it's today. No, be akoya said the American. How would you feel? In any country, a president goes to parliament and suddenly people come to him and start stabbing him to death openly. That will be scary to another president. So, the royals of Rome decided to make themselves gods and descendants of gods to the people, so that if you saw your king like a god, you wouldn't go and stab him. So when enkrofo structures are omwaye obibini eti wa waje atumi say wiase nyina ye boy 2000 years ago and no cry a great error. Enkrofo niam omo akom omo use to omo head and they setting up structures just to save themselves and their generation. Yeti ha yebu atopano areho keke enkrofo akoniamam and then sakraye onwa koniamama living legacy at their mom generation. Ye de sika no ane yepe. Today, tomorrow, it ends there. Uwu ye, wo yare ya oda unso obaton ni ame nyina. This is what they did. After Nkrofo stabbing Julius Caesar, and say kai, say anya bibi empire ye na ma no we kuku hi nyinara. No wo ba app, e be che see omo hu nyame, ene omo senti ni de kekeka ho. They planned ahead to secure themselves. What do we do as black nation? For a king to portray himself and his family as gods and not human beings, he needs two things. He must have endless wealth to make him and his family appear always as glamorous and luxurious like gods. Asembi wa ka me beka ba mejai. Sankanya sa obetimi atwe nipa ne hu ni nisu. Any the way oye ne ho ne ne mowiremu ne ne naase no wahu ni god ko possess no. Wo hwe we mpo a wo behu. Say ye god papa say ye god fi. Wo behu. Ba Nkrofo we ni hu the way na omo say omo portray omo ho. Enti no omo aye a god omo hwehwe sika na omo hie sika a omo be appear ti say nyame appear. Ena me ka kire mu se munsuo ni muniama na man ne kankan wa ha no. Nyame be ne wo mu amugine mu amugu nsa mo fa nche me. Eye question na me bisa. We there you don't have to get angry. Number 2, you need the following to become a god or to appear like a god or to pretend to be god. And a religion so that the grandfathers of the sitting emperor will be God and the family will be children of God. The nature so we have religion so to do that. Kings need money, and the only place they get money from is from war. Tetemra no ahemfu hia sika na omu hia asase a eye eku e na omukọ na omu akọje asase. Nti na meka kire o wo ye ohene a woto wo sesi e wo ton asase a minima se yensa wo acid si yenye ode omintumi hu ba wontumi nka. Because you don't know how they think. Baby they go to war. So mubenya sika na mubenya they go to war to acquire those knowledge. Eni nyina wo Bible mu. Omo si David kun okun bebre jeje Nkrofo gold ni we see in the Bible. But the war was also expensive. Ne boy because we carry a whole army and we movie a whole So they started borrowing money from people who kept the savings of merchants and farmers. They say no loan. Omo dru bank no omo hwehwe loan. Omo hwehwe bosia. No omo de atusa anamo no so omo kọ wa akọpẹ sika akọpẹ de. Omo be hia fans omo de be finance war na omo kọ no omo de akọhwehwe sika no. What you say ye de nam na yi nam. Nti afi omo fall on private people la omo jije Nkrofo sika omo like susufo ne ade. As time went by, the royals accumulated huge debt with the people. Omaji loan na so omo ko no mu nya bidia omo na ende kana na oboko. Sa na ye mu bebre ye oji loan no de ye store. Wa boka mateti oji loan no wa ha no de akotu ya loan no wa ha no oji wa ha no de akotu onim so oji wa ha kwa na interest no ni na kwa na ekoso nti okozongon. Say ne buenu mo omo ye omo be de ka kese. Ti na me ka kiro say the Africa ekomu bia obi akomu bida. Sa movie a Traore epese o movie enu na omo so movie to end e ka no. Omo antena wo say ye be ye nya hwe wo de ye mfa ne sa wa antena se so obeye tokam wanye ne sa. And in exchange, the people who gave the loan started getting influence over the royals. Afeno mu mbu ahimfu ni biom ebiese wo Ghana hala. Hey, by doing so, people grew into banks and other businesses because they started manipulating the royals to tax the farmers and workers. See ebinum abedi ebinum. So last 2 weeks spiritual misa so here no command men obetumi amana wa umu wo ye fundo obi so obi no ma waduane di obetumi akomande. Untumi commande o. Go ka asem wo echire obi na amisa anya ne de. Me bisa ne say me meti ha sesi yi. No kwasem ni se me be ware a me mpa oba ma me wo sika chen. Because untumi control me. Na wa so du ho na wa hwe so a wa uzo nonsense ensuru entumi nsi fom. Nti no krakra ne say. Nti na me twa bishop no bishop ya me kan me didi aguro mu take ni serious. Hey. Until when Constantine became an emperor, he was able to back the plan with the invention of Catholicism. Another one say leaders na ye benya ni nyina omo ye bibi o when they omo be ye bibi na omo ntumi anwie a obi ba so otumi to aso sanity e wo mo political system no nti na me say me I'm not talking politics, I'm talking awakening and consciousness and liberation of Africa. A different thing cry from the amoye ye no no we mu na omo person omo liberate omo generation o nti ebinumu start ye na omo ade kana omo ye ni omo sha ahemfo no so obi so aba or try the change about just like Traore eye nti Constantine ba ye no say o me fa Catholicism famra me kan ni pe nyina mbom na omo fa adwen krombra na ye mpa ye ntena omo so ni ntumi de ye ho. So now as the families of the royals begin to expand, the Pope, who acts as the mouthpiece of God, chose the king, and the people worship God through the Pope. And this is the setup. Yeah, can be say, Pope, when your son worship you, minia, and you don't want to read you. At this age, yen be jina na de a obi ko research ya wo husu yen betena na yenka. Ade ya adwen ofom sa. Da bi. Nti dia wo nko anim ne fa. So we feel so a year, a be a baby a word do me be a baby a me medu no kura wo ase ho. So because of this, many royals formed other European countries and the Rome Empire grew into Europe and Britain. But as the emperor changed and evolved, the money lenders who gave money to the royals for their wealthy displays also grew into big powerful companies. Into the obo bibisiano abenye sika na the obo obosia so de pushi ne plan na ne agenda no ono so aba abenye sika. And they got certified by charter from the royals. Afa de ahemfo no abo mu atenase. Ntese no emna meso wo so benye sika na wo so meso de amepɛ no me ba abenya. Before me enu ntumi nka omo adwene mbomu nya ade baako nti na Indian fo take over the western world no because ono de oni ni nua ne beka no obeye Indian ni bekwa kofa na yiri aba na oye clean ono be ma na ye clean o de ne ba ne yiri ni beko university ama wawie na waba beye IT waba beye lawyer still la oba na waye lawyer na ni kunu ye clean na no oni ni kunu ne kasa obekoto ama ni kunu no obibini yede ne koduru abrochi ya no wehurisi be ma no ko ho yede oba ma ne duru abrochi no wehurisi ye kwa hefa pesami nkuminya eye cancer emfa wo nko ba bia eno ne yete ha ne ye nkrofo we no we huhu we nsachi na we huhu we nsachi na ndey say net wuti wo ba bia nka obi empo ya asem odi obo ohene ne bosia no aba ba ye kese na ohene ne soso aboa na ma na ye kese nti obi a wo ma work hand in hand enya dia obi ape a ode beboa ne yonko. Later the companies grew so big and powerful than the royals because omo dey sika dey say wo bobesia obegba wo nkwa na nyina Bible can say woe unto you who go to Egypt for help just abosia dey odo ho kotum a wan hwa an dey ho da. And the royals are in serious debt because the loan guys are the ones funding the wars. Catcher said, "De bia, unyo obi eduane, uti obi nchen, who show obi store, who wie sikano, who de ma boyfriend, who wie sikano, who di, who cha wenum cha, who di na who wie nipa na de because enye usika na ode ton, who bie wo yam. A time will come, obe wie nipa na de, a time will come no be you we free ho no. Na wo ye fun ma bi obe dane kromfo, obi ade akitu obi na obe fa na abakoda prison. Ayemfo nu senya omo tena ase. Ena omo jiji sika no na omo didi na nkrofo no be ye kese afi na omo de omo ho akoka adwam omo kana ye bebrebe omo be ye den. So to be able to pay the loans, the company started sponsoring voyages to unknown lands with royal guards and armies. Omo ekuro no ye omo de ano omo so pe sika no omo aka omo adwen abom wo boa me wo ye ohene wo na akọ war ekope ni ama me nso na me abo obosia na sika na aba me ho chese yen work hand in hand. And so voyages like Christopher Columbus were sponsored by these loan guys to look for new wells, and they came to see Africa. the land of golden people. And these people no more what trouble mu no more so pay solution. Ti ada na mu nua ba ko pese ehu se mo what trouble mu no pay solution. Na mu nyina mo mbo ni chidom ibe na mo nkobo ano. Mu nyina mada ni mumu mo nkasa biom. Ahum te papa enim guase mobo papa. So this was the plan after they came to see Africa, for the royals to pay their debt and get more money to show off. Just for no more show off no why woman to be no almost baby. They must send missionaries from the Roman church to first go and mingle and fetch for information. Nti said amufri mufie na mokoka mufie ni mukunu nu masem kire asofo no. Enye nra ne start ye ade started da nkrofo na de baaye ebeduedua ne wa ha na ebi afifi wo ye hwinimu ne yesen ase nyina. After that, the kings will send their army to go and conquer the land. Nti missionaries ne ba na mo tete bicycle no so na book ni hihye omomotu omom na omudi nyame ebrew na wo so ye so ye kasa ye say ye good ye the best hospitality country as a continent. No mo aba omuja missionary na for omo start seminars na mo akogina wo na mo kasa na mo tap information. Oh, Africa. Nti omo ba missionaries ni ba na omo be logo na omo be study landmarks ni bibia. Oh, the next thing na ahemfo na ba na omo be conquer land. This is what happened to Africa. After the royals take the land, then the companies will come and take any natural resources free of charge to their factories in Europe. So hine no missionaries ni be ba when say the nkrofo eye adwuma hand in hand. No be wi a na ahemfo no aba no ma be attack na fe nkrofo no mo de omuka na ba na bibi wa asase no so say nchene say spices, say gold, say manganese, say diamond, say bauxite, say lithium, say no ma be fa ni nyina no mo de akoye factories no e wo Europe ho. Asem ni nyina history ni na me de amount yento aswe. Then the royals will also take the treasures and gold and use it to pay their debt. Ti obi omo ye adwuma tate omo aka omo ho abom na omo ye adwuma mo de African state, African continent, the president, the ministers, they are saying so omo de omo ntumi nka omo ho mbom da enye hwe. You sat here for a stranger to come and build borders among you. We create good relationship with our neighbors so we can grow stronger. We don't create borders. So the Portuguese first came to Africa backed by the royals of Portugal. Nti won amifo no ene nkrofo no na we mu di omati ba no mo be milk yenya. They saw free labor. So the loan company started slavery to get free labor for their sugar farms and rice farms. Inti omo be hu say ye adwuma te say machines. Na for omo started say omo totoye enko. Ni akoye adwuma wo omo ahwede ni omo amu afuom. Me say wo bibi kan. Thank God for machines, technology. Me gidi say ye nananom de bae na ye free because anka amba anka nkrofo we ke bi asase impo omo manipa ba ko nkaso. Their first shipment of slaves was somewhere in 1441. So it stayed that way until the slaves fought back and got slavery abolished. Akoswa na ya abolish ampa. But because the companies would collapse without free labor and free resources from Africa, they turned around and sent the royals back to Africa to colonize the continent. So this is the agenda. More than the year komo, but omo taking a bold step. No mo mfa ho ne eka, no mo mfa ho ne owuo, no mo de omo tu anamon so omo behwehwe bibi no mo de ade omo ho. Yen yete ha. Ya dani mumu. Emfi obi a. Omo plan. Omo mpese obu jaye da na ye so omo jaye. Omo jaye. Nniama ne dose omo ntumi bobo ni na so. By that time, the companies have expanded into modern firms and banks. Then Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Osajefo, may your soul rest in peace, what? Perfect peace, what? Awoke and started fighting for independence. Such a great man. You see why you useless nti yen dispose no. That time now awakening nisa. Truthfully, after Kwame Nkrumah, niyama ye enjoy wo Ghana nyina, one na ye more than Kwame Nkrumah. It's a question. Oh, answer natural wo and be exercising gullibility. I'm say a question. Again, from cocoa processing, again motor, again why, who, how, or no? And now the independent or starting independence, na African na copy paste here. The independence of Africa means that no resources for the private companies and the royals of Europe will be broken again because now they still owe big debt. Okaza onkwa na adeka. Frine komunjai dede na ya moye no about loans no. Obia deka. Obia wo Lazarus bia wewu apro e wo na brabo maka akere wo. Munjai demonstration ye na moma mani enka mo de moma ye ne nkrofo yin George. That is ebenya mpanimfo a omo enyane a said na Kwame Nkrumah enyane na. You can go and check from tomatoes to cashew to gold to diamond to everything that leaves Africa goes to private companies. It doesn't go to the royals. These companies are the ones who owns the banks and big top 1% of the wealth of the world. Until we are sika de nipa bebre na control because of this structure. Nipa kakre bi na control 1%. Nti ada na mu nua baako ese mo nsore na mo control a mo ntumi ndi nachi. Asem we me se ma adwen ho abaye boso me mienu ni ntumi ndampo. Ask yourself, America is in debt, or the cow, China is in debt. They are all in debt, just like you and I. The royals are all in debt. Go and make research and see. When the gold and diamonds leave Africa, it doesn't end up in any government company. 1%. The government in Europe do not manufacture or process gold. Go and find out. It is the sole right of the powerful private companies to borrow money from nations and kings. They control religion to protect royals, and they control wars and governments. The whole thing. Unia baako se yen sori ni yenye bibi ni yenso yen plan yen structures a waka wano atum we aba be ka kire nse we powerful we bishop we we you will shut forever. Said ya obi ko ware a mo ka say whoever has answered say hey hold your peace forever. What one captain onyame ma won tori mu na me kam chiro. Are you serious? They control the military and everything because everything is money. They get the money, so they have the power to control Bibia. Asori dem kura, osofo no wo ho, de oyi sika no no ye Holy Spirit or control. Omo mu kita sika, omo no mu control Bibia. Okay, mini. So, if American soldiers are planning to attack Burkina Faso, it is not America as a country. It is not Trump's order. And if it is his order, it is coming from the company who will benefit. Well, because of my the world is being run by debt because the companies control the government and kings who are in serious debt. Into your depression, neba was say munye se who needs it. Say time I hip buy almost a moko di sikano. Say beka frache, almost a fancy private no ni pen didi your toilet. Facha me. Omudi ko si in hwia. Na sa dey round ni so hey Africa ebio and ndura de yi levi a medi atua nyame adom atwamu ampai omode ba na omo na na omo kire omode omo nye because omode ma na omo gya wo say ye de awo pe a enko yie mo omo na me bi sample say loans na mo koje say mo de be ye kwan ne ade in fact sika na ye de hye mo nsam ana omode omo ano na ye ka na omo asa ama mo nipa so omo be question o. Why are you pampering such a brain tumor? Try to say Debbie must yemboano. Yemfi no kra. Hey, Africa, that bay. Are there men here? It's just a question. Are there men here wo hwe kwa Traore no Ghana mpo na African country a waba mu dawo enche ye organize Thanksgiving service prayer and Thanksgiving service amanyankopon aya momfa Traore nka ho why Traore se hwana ne di no kra me se Traore na ye de kosopin no se de omutumi hu aya momfa ne di nka ho eye mobopi. That is what I tried to teach 2 years ago in my editorial Masters of the Universe and the Soul Invictus. You can go and watch now when ya details of it. Na fe wa ba behwe asema me no obeka sisi sebe na wadwen ho amame wate wo share time with Maame Grace on this platform there. I am the prettiest preacher. Last week mambo midi my shit abusuya ya discussing the three-headed beast. Na fe mumma yenhwe Cerberus. Abusuya, in mythology, the name of the three-headed beast is Cerberus. It guards the hell gate by preventing the living from entering the gate of hell. Obi anyway. The three-headed beast had 3 heads made of dogs. The tail is a dragon and heads of snakes all over his back. We obi betumi atwa abeto no say on the coordinate. That's not what I'm saying. The explanation I have for the three-headed beast is simple. One head is the Catholic Church, representing religion. And the second head is the royals and politicians. And the last head is the company. Now, I explain about the banks and private companies, the pharmaceuticals. These 3 are standing between Africa now and Africa in future. The religion, the royals. Na infunupo di hine wa ha. Na sa wodo ho ba omo a, wo na ye pagya wodi nkosoro. So wan fa ho amba omo a, unyo obi a no matter the level of your education. We here no so to nchanya enye ka companies ni bank in fact Andre ya no bi ni me kasa na me hu say na apparently even fuel stations e wo Ghana yin ntori me ntwa so a private company, the banks and the private companies enye omo ana omo control yen wa ha cash control in Ghana hwan mo and e control 90% hwan mo. How many shops na who Ghana ha before there? How many companies? Maame fancy ha. These things omo gina yentem, omo mayenko. The Africa we have now is hell, brunsam jem, AIDS. This is where we are. If we don't do anything, the Africa of the future is the land of the living. Our shift, our awakening. And no natural or say odi kan yendi na chi a yesi ye nko Queen Anne suffered the same fate o saving crofo no encrofo ni sori nkokro mo se da bi omo nko ebi mu tena ase atwen omo ehu ene nhwehwe ni mu so won suro say obewu why are you afraid to fight so won need hope wo life mu a owu de ye hopeless to me nyahwe wotena ho saa Debbie, your brother has taken a bold step in Burkina Faso. Or say this 3-headed beast, I will cut the head off and half away. You are a shot. Oh, I don't know the medicine to give you. I don't know what to describe you. How to describe you, where to place you. I don't even know. The 3-headed beast is making sure that our future as Africans, as black nations, does not come to us. Neither do we also go to our future. Traore said, no, I will kill this 3-headed, I will kill this beast and set Africa free. African leaders are there. No unity. No unity. Nobody wants to help Traore. What about the gold? Because what about the gold? I ask myself, if it's gold they want, why don't they go somewhere and look for their own gold? because gold na asase ni mu na wo enti say ye gold na nkrofo we pa aden ye chiri ko kwa ye di ni ba bronsam mba amunya omo a modi omo be ye bibi a mo pa aden na mo pe bronsam mba de omo gold aden na omo nko twetwe omo gold. What is it about the gold? So can we give them land and say, you mine here and take all the gold and leave Africans alone? Would they agree? Papa Traore, Pacho propose we mom. So we chop forest be mom so omunje mfa no omunko. If it is gold they are looking for, would they agree and leave us alone? But I realize that it is not just gold. Menameka. Digging the ground and making hundreds of miles underground is not just about gold. No. I see beyond that. It's about exploration and archaeology. There is more to it. Even up to now, they are still in Egypt. The Giza Plateau, the pyramids. Omo research. You don't even want to do downloads. Goes beyond that. Oshemeni, you were a minister of the state and you are leading this thing for them to galamsey. Yeteha na yebe buagum. Ufi se omo ni miansa. Nti gold ba kunti no omo be loadi nipa bebre se ye de aba. Bibia ye shallow enisu ne ye hwe. Ade ada ye nisu tentan. Ye ministers na lead ebimu sa na omuka wo radio omo boa me so meboa ye tete wo it is alleged ebimu na omo lead we ye pesika sika ye de yen sika enhwe nipa ye sikafu enti se wo de nipa nkwato bibi so na wo de pesika sebe aboa enti mini nipa nye pe ba wo de sika edi nipa animu dia aboa kora mpo jama eye chen. The whole black nation has been presented with only 6,000 years of ancient knowledge that has even been manipulated. A black man is believing that this creation story in the Bible is the truth. Simply means, or believe he said the world is 2,000 years ago. Meanwhile, 6,000 years na ye history. 6,000 years mpo no ma started manipulating ye history ene ye knowledge eno na besin de obibini gidi se ne nana na okukun aboa na ne nana sonsum niama obibini gidi na wa mo gidi se we 2,000 years. How can you even go back to reach the aya manipulating no to think of going beyond that to redeem yourself? That is the Egyptian civilization enumpo no ma manipulating say poto eno bibini afa de omo manipulate di ama no can be bia na omo ne woku sa 500 ni sa 200 no omo jeje no wo group omo fo se jamanu na nipa ye focus wo so nke ya do we are African watching me and you believe that Adam and Eve is the beginning of creation. Bow your head down in shame. Bow your head down in shame. Say what dream say this universe is 2,000 years and you believe this as an African. Just say you can't even go beyond the 600,000, not to think of looking for yourself. These people know the discovery that lies beneath the earth. Omunim. And even though Africans think archaeology and exploration have ended, deep mining presents a modern way of discovering hidden artifacts of ancient civilization beyond Egypt. Obibini ejidi se ni nana be so ne daye se or the gold bi ahye ha or the shina bottle ahye ha or the machine de pamade bi ahye form no obibini akofo osofo no osofo aka kire ne sade ne chawagini sika di so obetu ama no nanso obibini ti krom ha gidi se obroni fini krom ba na obetu galam se gold no obepe se wo nana tumi sun dai se o di bibi ahye form a into common sense and can't just wo nananom e di niama ahye form na nkrofo ye omu be they are looking for more than this. So nipa ne bitete asempo de yete omuso aye ni because we don't care. They ye pa ni sika ye bedi ene ka ye be show. Ohu ba bia ye reduce ye ho abedu. I feel they are doing more than your mutu say gold. They have allowed only 6,000 years of controlled ancient Egypt history. But Akabulan is way beyond 5,000 or 6,000 years ago. We go beyond that. We have billions of ancient knowledge. Practice clean spirituality so you are able to download these things. We can help ourselves with this. If we decide to practice spirituality that will leave a legacy, we will go beyond Tamiewu and Odoso. They told you to worship anything. No, nipa da seni e de nsa ya ade. No akoto so worship. Now they laugh at you. We cool soon. It is said that in South Africa and part of Asia, where they are drilling mines so far down into the earth, they have come across items that were made 4 billion years ago under deep mines. Jamana donko ya enkrofo yi betu ahasema mi ke mo bi enye ma no nsi bone ye enkrofo yi machines nketenkete ya omudi tututu galamsey nti eno na mo se esey nsuo ewo kurom ha nyina nsuo ni tumi ye ko woda na ye ko wa akwatia na ye ko wo kede na ye ko nanim sa ye enkrofo yi machines nketenkete nti enkrofo ne de na omudi besim na excavators akese ne eno ni ye enkrofo yi omudi de na se ya de. Are they saying certain things to prevent us from small things we are doing? I'm not promoting anything. I'm just asking questions, critical questions. Omo ye bibia pam ye afiri ho. No mo nya kwan aye de wo mo adwenim ene de omo pe. Ana ampa ne ampa nkrofo we e ka bibi kire yen. Eno na metwi yen nyina adwen abaso se yen hwehwe because omo kodrele ade wo South Africa. No mako hu ade a chef artifact a chef for 4 billion years and crofo we wo mo ba na mo kwa ase wa e de no mo ka kire yen ye di omo achipoko na ye de asase ne mo agi sika kakra na forget omo na omo tu ntokuro ni kwa ba bi omo pe we na metwe wagen agina so yi e de nti na toare se mamu nye biom by force to hear king kind 2000 years creation story say Adam and Eve mo bokeke 4 billion years ago. Africans were on this earth. They were here building with metals and irons. They knew metals. They knew how to mold and to create handmade things. Up till now, blacksmith fools and wine. Nyomu no mu ye chain na papa ne ade ade. Omu de no kro omu ye wo de ne na ehye wo na wo kwa. Omu tumi hwe wo saa. Na nsen artifact ya papa asante hini kofa ba yi. Ye na nanu omu de na ye so wo fo so mu ye primitive. No more manipulate story na say see so more part say aliens so kora na see Giza Plateau no Africans are come no tete mu de bibia mu be ignore bibia mu be ignore me catch no plane ama what you say the ekoso say you can't ignore, you can't afford to ignore it because what it will bring upon our head we cannot contain. Until we refuse to ignore what is happening right now. Niyama we na ye nananom Ediom, oh, Kansana, wash a wig, wash a yenananko, be better wigs. They were doing dancing crime. Don't forget. Come be better wigs. I'm telling you. Me say, wig no more no cry, men and nebina jamanoye. And no more fan no call. Everything this omunimuno, omubefa yen and anomko we acknowledge ni from because omo de nche ebe to so ma de amomo. Ye can say wig. And now you are using their wig, and now you are using their cameras, and now you are using their social media handle, and you are this. If you know what some of us sacrifice before saying these things, I did way I can only near my yokomo baby places, and can be fun what taking me serious. Because to talk about things like this, once a million on my edin. They said they didn't chini dwarene said they are ye angel be free so be hwe from or dey so tro hwe obi ani so a nka wo be hu nkrofo mu hwe as angel no omuni ni di nkomo no kra akoto atade ba ko ka wo be hu once we obi ayedin. Some Oko society took trips to the coast of Cuba because they said enormous temples are sitting on the ocean floor deep inside the sea. That is why they won't allow you to dig and mine that deep. Yes, sir. It's not just about the gold, but you will go and find things that will remind you of your ancestors 6 billion years ago. And you know, galamse na minister the way we ask no mu di anim no mo ye. Cause ono di ojema na obetwe ne ho. Na wagyae na omo akasa, omo akod as deep as they want. Omo befa crystal free ha. E de fa moto we yusukọ. Na watwa ticket akoto crystal boarding asan ye certificate wo ho. E de befu plane so eno so mu hawo ne amanehunu e de abedu. Obrese nya ne ye bre na papa isi ye. Se ye tukura ne ye ni made ye de be ya ye be da so. Musomo mmoa no obi ada ne mumi. Onka pe. We na makasa na mabeda ne brunsam. E de ama obi a wo kurom ha sei. Abeda ne tamfu. I'm a business spiritual people. Onfa power nkoma Burkina Faso. Omo ma wuntu ade ni nko deep. No omo ma wuntu ade ni nko deep. This is where you download so you are able to go deep and say things that I'm saying now. They want to control our deep drilling and deep minds, not only because of gold, but because of the enlightenment we may encounter. That is what some of us are focusing on. Omo boada. Fa machine kosi wonom na ye nkotu but ye be wuram akoho akofa de wo ho na ba ama bibia atone kwanso nti papa we na montu awatu no owo so many people who are doing underground works a mo be pia ne to so omo si Moses Israel for na ekun tokwa no Moses ma ne nsa so a na omo di nkunim Moses bere na ne nsa e ba fom a na omo di nkugo nti na ese nkrofo so ne nsa nim. How many people are holding Traoré's hand up? So ye Moses a wo de mu mpem bibia mu de mu bibia enye papa Yesu kwa aba na wabeje mu entumi nye Traoré ono de onye nipa mu na mo bre nyama bebre wo ho abrofo we no mo stopping them from doing it eya na enye ne amudi mu ani hu ebi wo ho a ekọ beyond that. Last year I traveled me ka kire mo me finance ne so a ko Barbados Antigua me fa wa ko si St. Martin sa akokoduru Mexico na ye bibi na mehwehwe the Bermuda Triangle. Mo say because I was told that there's pyramids sitting on the ocean floor deep inside the sea on one of the islands there. Njemo amunim say me go school wo ho no me I can't say much here for now. That was last 2 years I think. We cannot find ourselves in their ancient civilization they are giving to us, and they don't want us to go and find things out ourselves. The reason our Bible 2,000 years ago now was some. Even your 6,000 years ago history cry manipulated. No na woni obi ku and tokwa wo ho. But then I go beyond this. To mean save you. So a small Burkina Faso will bring armies from France and America just because of one gold. Because of small Burkina Faso. You are bringing army from America and France because of gold. Small Burkina Faso. Think deep about this. Edi important no mo hu ho. Ebi ancestor bi ni bi omu koyin ancestor say kai no wa ba wura papa yi mu no say mu ntu fi anko. Abi before say ye ntai na chi. Awrehu kese. Medical actual DNT o. Nti nyina wonka political na governor. I don't even care. Ede na political I am am ede na governance bi ede brew. Won kwa adwuma de bi a wudidi. Ti e ka ko mutu ya okapapa. Ti nye no na meka. Imagine the years of ancient real Akabulan civilizations sitting deep under the ground waiting for us to discover them so we can remember them. There are things when usomupa wanya shake up bi to say soon bi etwen obibini amana but who remember say me can years ago so almost say door bi wo sphinx no aso hu e wo Giza plateau ni so amebeka wan say me gidi say a day will come akola bi be pia akola ni gina wo pe na door na bie almost say o makohu akola bi akola ni nye obibini ta e bibifo aka mo anu atum mo map ya dane ne upside down maka mo anu atum mo nkasa ya beka kire mo say mo nchene ne nye na o ma bra mo moto o ma nka mo anu antu coconut bibia mo wa ha bia ye se enye makamanu atum se mo brother so mo de enye kra mo yenje ne yenye ye ho yie ne yende ye ho eno so makamanu atum eyeduabo. We don't even believe the world is over 2000 years. How do we think? How can you think like this? Ye be ye den ne yakọ beyond this ne yakote ye ho ase so that we can see that we are not children of the devil, but we lived in royalty before they invented the devil. How? When can we do this? And this thing is in the Bible. Or say adehye ene nam fom na nko atete aponko so. Enya asem na omo ka kire mu. You read this and you see your sister, your bloodline, so no momu no ya akwa na wo your odehye nti wo bom paye eyi na si fom. Oh, Awurade. Da ben na mo behu devil. Da ben na wo awote aha obi abeto wa ha. Or see a country more stronger than them. Our Bible no mo. No mo bedi o musunya mi bi na wa dan wa bre wo devil na wa je edi se wo ye devil ba. Adehye ne nam fom ne nko atete aponko so. Ye de ye anwum nyina ato. How many of us even cared about this? Who cares? Does our parliament even think about the ancient artifact? Kai? For the way? Why in parliament? What is obi mpo Canada? Ye won crofoni bi wo ho sesia. Chese bi before ya mobo. Ye won crofoni bi wo ho a omo hye asomade bia enye gold pe na omo aso start pro. San crofoni ni microphone ko omo ye. They don't even know themselves. Or the asomade fufuro bia hye na so am one of them na so be process ya. Do you know who you are if you are like that? Hey! Abi before the ye mobo. Nipa ye mobo no bibini ye mobo. Omboa ni nua da. Ode ni nua beba fom. Ohu broni ana ne ho pere ne gidigidi. Ade ya broni wo mu bia ye papa ma obibini. Ade ya ni nua ye enye papa ma no. Ah. Hey Africa, dabei. Let's wake up. Let us wake up. Let's support our brother. Let's start vibrating towards them. Ibe. Let's shout Ibe. Let's support them. Let us free ourselves. Minia, mama yen free ya hu na fiam pesia adwo once na sisi so. Asomdwe wo hu che obi fie fried rice. Anantwie tai. Eda so wate. Umiyenye bibi. Let us wake up. We need it. It's enough. Let's do something. Let's help our generation. Makram.